Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well. It's Lonnie here, and first of all, I want to say that it is uncomfortable for people to talk about race. Why is that? Well, jump back yesterday, I have had three friends reach out to me, three of my white friends reach out to me and ask me, hey, this is awkward. I don't know what to do. How do we move forward? What's going on? How are you feeling? And I gotta tell you, that is the best way I've heard this conversation started so far. I've seen a lot of opinions on Facebook, and I want to use this video and this platform to kind of talk about some of those. Because there's a lot of people who are kind of sitting in the middle, kind of like, I don't know, they sound extreme and they sound extreme. And there's a lot of extremes happening because there's a lot of hurt. Some people, I'll say, I know there's a white audience that feels like they are being improperly charged or tasked with dealing with or being called on carpet with something that they did not necessarily create or don't even realize the full depth of what's going on, but are being called on the carpet and feel like that's a severe injustice. And then there's my black friends and community who feel like, yo, why aren't you guys saying anything? Why aren't you doing anything? Your silence is just as bad as the crime that's been committed here. And I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the things I've read on Facebook and heard because I'm like, I think the way that we move forward in this time is going to be through listening and understanding where the other person's coming from, the hurt and the heart that's tied to each of the sentiments that are going around here. All right. So forgive me as I kind of try to move through this as best as I can and as quickly as I can. I think the first things first, to my white friends, I gotta ask you guys, please, as best as you can, do not act like or lean towards the idea that there's not systemic racism in America. And I know as I've talked to people, they've been like, well, I haven't necessarily seen that. Or growing up, I have had the best relationships with black people growing up, and some of my best friends are black. And then I've heard some people say, like, I'm not racist. That cop was insane. That was not me. That is not my family. That's not anybody I know. 99% of the people I know are not racist, and they are kind, good people, and they're also white. And to that I say, that is a very good and important reality that I think we want to that we definitely want to move towards. What I do have to say with that is to consider that as a male, if my sister told me that she doesn't like to walk from her job to her car after she gets off of work because the parking lot is dark and empty and she is concerned that someone could be hiding anywhere watching her and jump out and harass her or who knows what, then I would say, huh. I had two options really. I could say, huh, that doesn't sound like something I've ever had to deal with. That can't be real. That's not a real thing. Or I could say, I have never had to deal with that before. Are you serious? Are you sure? Like, it's not. I don't think that. I mean, not for me. I haven't never had to deal with that. So, what is that like for you? Like, what do you have to? What can I do to help? You know. And that has been the response that I have heard from, like I said, several of my friends have reached out, and that is like the best way to start it. Like from a majority to a minority, it's like the thing you can do best is say, I have not experienced that. Using the example, I'm never going to be a woman. 2020, live your best life. I'm never going to be a woman, and like I'm never going to have that same experience that she has had. But that doesn't mean that I get to discredit that reality. That's still a piece, and that probably also means I'm gonna have to adjust how I think and how I speak, and I can't just say, "Hey, oh, it's midnight, Jalon, go pick up something so and so from the store." You can just walk there by yourself. It's fine. It's whatever. No, you kind of you have. It takes work, because now I have to think. Oh, she's a woman. She probably shouldn't be walking out by herself. It's just not safe. It is not the same for her as it is for me, and that's the world in which we live in right now. Working to fix that and change that, but that's what it is right now. And it's important to acknowledge that somebody else's reality and perspective is not necessarily what I see and perceive and experience on a day-to-day basis or ever, but it's still valid, and we have to kind of start there. The next thing I'll say is to my black friends and family, give everybody who's coming to you asking questions, give them time to not understand it. Give them time to be like, I don't quite get it. I don't know if what I'm saying here is offensive, but I'm trying to help. Like, and also to my white friends and family and to everybody, anybody, you do not have to speak on social media. You can speak with your actions through different avenues and forums. But whatever you do it. And I'm gonna say this, I think that the goal for us after you watch this video, if you're white, go talk to two black people and ask them what has your experience been like. And then don't necessarily rebuttal, but just sit on it and listen. Like, say, what's it been like for you? What is it like for you? What are the things you see? And then just hear it and sit on it and think about it and listen. And then, again, to my black friends and family, don't make people regret coming to ask you questions. There is ignorance, and not everybody knows how to navigate these situations. I have found myself saying things that are just insensitive to women because I did not know, you know? But the worst thing is, like, whenever you hear somebody say, oh, all men are dogs, it's like, no, okay, I'm a man, I have sisters, and I treat them very well, and I make sure that they have what they need as best as I can, and it's unfair. That's unfair, you know? So watch out for those absolutes, for sure. It's a lot, and there's so much going on, and I think for this video, I just want to say, it's just a starting point, but I just want to say thank you guys if you watch it this far, and if you have thoughts and you're going to talk in the comments, the rule of the comments is we are here to listen, to learn, and to understand. We all have different perspectives, and we all want good for ourselves, our family, and our children. So, no arguing in the comments. There are different perspectives, but there is not going to be any arguing. If anything, you're going to ask to listen and learn, and when you ask a question, someone has told you something, whether this is in person or on Facebook, you start off with repeating to them what the sentiment behind their emotions are. So if someone says X, Y, and Z, you don't say, oh, well, that's where you're wrong. You say, it sounds like you feel as if X, Y, and Z. Is that right? And then you think about how you would feel if you were in that situation, and then you respond. That's how we're going to have this discourse, okay? This is just part one. I'm not sure if this video's any good, but I wanted to shed a little bit of light on that. I'll be posting another one soon. Love you guys, and we have a chance to get a real grip on our circumstances here in America, white or black, all right? And that's only going to happen as we work together, listen to each other, acknowledge that there's an issue, and start figuring out how to move forward in a way that's a win-win for everybody involved.